motivation.
That's right.
Welcome to Will Motivation. Holla.
What's up? It's your boy, Will Motivation, back again with another video. And today we're talking about what credit score you need in order to purchase a Lamborghini. Now, a lot of you guys remember a while ago when I first started my channel, I did a video talking about the monthly payment on my Lamborghini Gallardo. It was like a 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo. And the monthly payment on that was like a little bit over $1,000 a month. It was a very popular video. I did the video because a lot of people asked me, how am I able to afford a Lamborghini? They asked me, you know, what I do for a living to be able to afford the Lamborghini. And then finally, when I told people that I actually financed that Lamborghini because for me, it was smarter to use my money to invest in real estate as opposed to taking the money and investing it in a car. They were surprised that I financed it. So the next question was, you know, what kind of credit score do you need in order to finance a Lamborghini? So I figured I'd do a quick video. It's going to be, you know, really simple because I did a little bit of research on it just to make sure what I thought was actually accurate. You know, I know my own credit score, but I didn't know, you know, what was the minimum credit score that you had to have. So to get right down to the point, for those of you that clicked on this video to see, you know, what kind of credit score do I need in order to qualify for a Lamborghini, the short answer to that question is you need at least a high 600 or mid 600 credit score based on my research in order to be able to finance a Lamborghini. Now, there's a lot of factors that determine whether you can even finance a Lamborghini at all besides your credit score, because you can actually have a 700 or a high 700 or even an 800 plus credit score and not be able to finance a Lamborghini because you might not have the income to be able to show a bank that you can make that payment. So it's not always that simple. So I'm going to break down to you what you need beyond that credit score in order to go ahead and finance a Lamborghini. But if you just tuned in to find out, you know, quickly what kind of credit score do you need in order to finance a Lambo, there you have it, high 600s, low 700s to be able to easily finance a car like this. Now, if you want to know the details and what else banks look at in order to determine if you are credit worthy to be able to finance a car like this, then go ahead and stay tuned to the rest of this video. And then I'll also drop some knowledge on, you know, kind of like what I did in order to put myself in a position to be able to finance or afford a car like this. All right. So what are some of the other factors that play into financing a Lamborghini? So let's assume that when you're financing this car, you're gonna finance more than $100,000, because the lower the amount that you finance, the higher the odds that the bank will say okay and go ahead and finance you. But if you want to finance a higher amount, somebody leaving in my neighborhood, my neighbors think I'm crazy, man. I'll be doing these videos and they be like, what is this dude doing? But anyway, what are the other factors in order to finance the car? So the lower the amount, the higher the odds that you get financed. So that means, for example, this car right here is a $208,000 Lamborghini. One of the factors is how much money did I put down on the car, and then how much am I at the end of the day, how much of the car am I financing? That will give the bank some level of comfort on whether it's going to be a good or risky deal for them. So for example, in this car, in my case, I traded in another Lamborghini, which was a white 580-2. Funny enough, it's the same car that I found out later is the car that Goonzquad is working on now. I traded it in Miami, and I bought this, and some lady bought my old Lambo. She wrecked it, and the Goonzquad actually picked it up, and I did like interesting story how I figured that out, but I'll tell you guys about that in another video. So that's a cool story that I'm going to release later. All right, shout out to Goonzquad as well for shouting me out on their videos too, so go check them out. But anyway, so I traded in a Lambo, when I financed this, and I had about $150,000 worth of equity when I traded that Lamborghini in, along with some cash that I put towards it. So I ended up only financing about $50,000 to $60,000 on this Lamborghini. So for the bank, it was real low risk. However, like in most scenarios, like even when I bought my first Lamborghini Gallardo, I financed over $100,000, like right around $100,000. Financed it with Woodside Credit, because not every bank will finance an expensive car loan or car vehicle like that. So there are some banks that will do those deals. One of them is TD Auto Finance. So if you're really thinking about financing a Lambo, that's a good company. That's who this Lamborghini is financed with, TD Auto Finance. And the other one is Woodside Credit. So when I bought my first Lamborghini, it's an older car. So the older the car is, the less the banks want to have anything to do with it. But there's some lenders out there that will lend because they know the old cars, they know the value, they know the owners, and they're more comfortable doing those kind of loans. So I got my first Lamborghini loan with Woodside Credit. I had to have a 700 credit score. I had to put down, I believe, 20%, at least 20% on the car. No, actually I take that back. I didn't even have to put down 20%. I'm thinking about real estate. Because the car cost $107,000 and I financed right around $100,000 with Woodside Credit. And I traded in a GTR. Like I had a Nissan GTR that I traded in on that Lamborghini. But anyway, I had to find a specialty financing company, and I used Woodside Credit. So look them up if you're looking to get like an older Lamborghini, like a Gallardo. They finance those all day long. And even the dealerships, like the Lamborghini dealerships, when they're selling older cars, they'll contact Woodside Credit and they'll try to use them to finance the deal. But like I said, with them, you gotta have at least 700 credit score, and you gotta have, be able to show that you have income. So that's the other thing. So like the higher your credit score, the less they look at some of the other factors, but they're definitely gonna look at other factors like your financial statement. Basically, what are some of the assets that you own? What are some of the car loans that you've had before? So like me, I progressed my way up in car loans. So they saw a history. They saw a history of the type of cars that I was buying and financing. So like before my first Lamborghini Gallardo, I had financed a C7 Corvette not a Z06 or a Z01, Z51, whatever, right? I financed a Corvette. Then I went from the Corvette to a BMW M4. Then I went from the BMW M4 and I stepped up to a GTR. GTR was like $80-some thousand. Then from the GTR, I finally wanted to get a Lamborghini. I got the Lamborghini Gallardo, and I stepped up and financed the Gallardo, which was $107,000. And so they look at your history of cars, look at your history of credit and loans and types of cars, because a lot of banks don't want to be the first to try to take a risk on you and give you your first car loan, especially if it's going to be something like a Lamborghini. And then they also look at what does your income look like. So you got to be making enough money to take care of the car payment, whatever it's going to be, based on how long you're going to finance it and whatever your interest rate is. They want to make sure you can make that payment. So they're going to look at how much is that car loan going to be. Do you own a home? What is your mortgage every month? How much money do you make every month? And sometimes they'll actually go out and verify that. But a lot of times, if your credit is really good and you have had a lot of car loans progressively, like in my case, they don't even check like my income and stuff like that. I don't even think they check anymore, because I have done so many car loans. They can just look at that and see that I always pay my payments and I always pay the cars off early and all that kind of stuff, right? So there it is, long story, man. You gotta have the income to be able to afford the car. You gotta have the credit history as well. And then you gotta have a good credit score in order to get a car like this. But it's not impossible, especially if you got good banking relationships and you got good credit history. It's definitely not anything that's out of this world to pull off, because believe it or not, a lot of people believe that people buy these cars in cash, but most of the time, if you talk to anybody who's been working at a Lamborghini dealership for a long time, they'll tell you that most of the time when people buy Lamborghinis and exotic cars, they finance them, especially the people that have a lot of money and they know how to use their money because they use their cash in order to invest in things that will make them more money, and like return on investment, like interest. They'll invest in things that make them more than what they would have to pay in interest to a bank when they get a car loan. All right. Now I'm at the point now where I invest a lot in real estate, which actually justified me being able to buy a car in the first place. I have not been buying a whole lot of real estate lately because the property values are super high, and plus there's not as many deals out there easy for me to find. So I'm spending my money or my time to invest in my other businesses. But since I'm not buying real estate, I have less of that money out into the real estate market getting a return. So I have been paying down whatever debt I have, including car loans and stuff like that. So I bought a couple cars with cash and stuff like that. So anyway, that's my personal story. But man, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this video. My name is Will Motivation. This is my channel. I talk about cars and the experience of owning these cars. I currently have in my collection a 2018 Hellcat, a 2015 Lamborghini Huracan, which you see behind me, which is supercharged. I'm going to review this car with the new supercharger on it. So that's going to be one of the up and coming videos. I just wait for the weather to get nice here in Ohio. But the weather's nice now, so I'm getting ready to review this car. Also, I got a GT3 coming to the channel real soon, so I'm gonna drop that video this weekend, going to pick up the GT3. And then also, I'm a Mustang GT fan, so I've got a project car that I'm looking at. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you got any questions, drop me a comment. I'm gonna be dropping a whole lot of videos on the cars, but also on what it takes to be able to get the cars, like entrepreneurship, investing in real estate, and things of that nature. So just want to thank you guys for taking the time to check out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for watching today's video. There's a lot more to come. Hit that like button for me and subscribe to my channel. A lot of you guys have been asking me about when is my online course going to be ready. Well, I have good news for you. My online course is completed. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can click on that link and get a 40% discount off the course. That'll be for the first 50 students. So if you're ready to take the online course that I've basically laid out everything that I know about how to invest in real estate, click the link below or just go to www.willmotivation.com/invest. And thank you guys for taking the time out to watch today's video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.